Lesson 1-2, our objective will be to use the order of operations to evaluate expressions. And let's learn the concept on this. There are two methods that someone might use to find the value of an expression that contains more than one operation. Consider the operation 8 plus 5 times 2. Remember, we did this in 6th grade, so this is a bit of a review. Okay, so if you have 8 plus 5 times 2, method number 1 is we do this. We multiply 5 times 2 and then add 8. We end up with 18. Method number 2, we add 8 plus 5 and then we multiply by 2, we end up with 26. So if you look at this expression 8 plus 5 times 2, there are two different answers. Okay, but if you notice, okay, there should only be one correct answer. And in order to avoid confusion, okay, in math, they established the order of operations to tell us how to find the value of an expression. Okay, and the order of operation is very similar to when you open your lock, okay, your locker. If you don't do it in order in terms of how the numbers are supposed to go, you will not be able to open your lock. And same thing with math. If you don't follow the order of operations, you'll never arrive at the correct answer. Okay, so first in our order of operations, do all multiplications and divisions from left to right. And second step, do all additions and subtractions from left to right. And if you notice in the, or if you remember from last year, we made this into MDAS, or My Dear Aunt Sally, multiplication and division, addition and subtraction, where multiplication and division have the same priority, addition and subtraction have the same priority. If they appear on the same line, we need to go from left to right for both operations. Okay? Order of operations guarantees that each numerical expression has a unique value. Using the order of operations, the correct value of the expression is obviously 18. So this is the correct method to use, and this is the wrong method to use. Okay, so in the order of operation, there is only one correct method, and and it's method number 1. Okay, let's take a look at example number 1. Find the value of each expression, 7 times 9 plus 3. Okay, and if you look at 7 times 9 plus 3, remember what we did last year. Okay, when we have 7 times 9 plus 3, we did arrows. We multiplied 7 times 9, and that is 63. And we simply brought down the 3, and that becomes 66. Exactly what we did here. We multiply 7 times 9 first, which gives you 63, and then add 3, which will give you 66. Okay, same manner. You have 18 plus 6 minus 8 divided by 2. Okay, again, let me write it down here. So 18, put it in nice blue ink. 18 plus 6 minus 8 divided by 2. In using our arrows and using the order of operations, My Dear Aunt Sally, we need to use division first, because division comes before addition or subtraction. I'm sorry. So 8 divided by 2 is 4, and we simply bring down 18 plus 6 minus 4. Then we now have addition and subtraction. We simply go left to right. We add 18 plus 6, which will give you 24, and bring down minus 4. And we subtract 24 minus 4 will give you 20. So in the same manner, we do division here first. That's why we end up with 4 here. Divide 8 by 2. And then we add 18 plus 6, which will give us 24. And then bring down the minus 4. And we simply have 20 when we subtract 4 from 20. Example C, Let's take a look at how this works. Example C. Example C, we have 144 divided by 16 plus 9 divided by 3 plus 12. Okay, again, following the order of operations, we have division first. So we divide 144 divided by 16. 144 divided by 16 is equal to 9. And we simply bring down plus 9 divided by 3 plus 12. Since we still have division, we still do division before we do anything else, before we do any other operation. 9 divided by 3 is 3. We bring down 9 plus 3 plus 12. And since there are all addition, we simply add from left to right. That is 12 plus 12, or 24. Same manner, exactly what we did here. 104 divided by 16. 9 plus divided by 3 plus 12, and we divide 9 by 3, we get 3, add from left to right, 12 plus 12, and that'll give you 24. Okay, and let's add on to our order of operations. Order of operations can be changed by using grouping symbols like parentheses and brackets. The value of the expression is found by performing the operations in the grouping symbols first. Okay, so if we have grouping symbols, we call it parentheses. Let's take a look at example number 2 and see how this works. Find the value of each expression. We have 45 minus 2 times 15 minus 3. It says here that we need to do grouping symbols first. We need to simplify the expression inside the grouping symbols first. So in this case, we need to simplify 15 minus 3 first. Okay, so in order to do that, that becomes now 45 minus 2 times 12, because 15 minus 3 is 12. Okay, and then simply saying do the parentheses, do the operations in parentheses first. Okay, and then follow the order of operations. So in this case, we need to multiply 2 times 12. That's 24, so this becomes 45 minus 24. And then we simply subtract 24 from 45, gives us 25. Or sorry, 21. Okay? In example B, you have 22 plus 3 divided by 9 minus 4. Since they have parentheses, we need to do what's inside the parentheses first before we do my dear Aunt Sally. So please, my dear Aunt Sally will be our acronym for now. Okay, we add M, or we had P, please my dear Aunt Sally, where P stands for parentheses. Okay, so we do what's inside the parentheses first. 25 divided by 5, why? Because 22 plus 3 is 25, 9 minus 4 is 5. Okay, do all operations in parentheses first, and then we simply divide 25 divided by 5 will give you 5. So that's how you find the value of the quantity 22 plus 3 divided by the quantity 9 minus 4. Let's take a look at example number 3. Okay, or before we do example number 3, let's summarize the order of operations of what we know so far. Okay, remember we talked about, okay, please my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, and P stands for parentheses. Do all operations within grouping symbols first. Start with the innermost grouping symbol, meaning to say if you have different grouping symbols such as this one, okay, you need to simplify what's inside before you start going out to the bracket. Let me give you a more concrete example. If I have 2 plus 6 minus, or 6 plus 10, bracket, bracket, that means I need to simplify the inner grouping symbol first, which is 16, and then the add 2. Let's make this better. Let's do multiply that by 3, Okay, so this now becomes, I move it here. Okay, 3 times 18, which is 54. So that's what it means when it says do all operations within grouping symbols. First, start with the innermost grouping symbol, and that's what we just did. I started with the innermost grouping symbol and went out. Okay, next, okay, is our my dear Aunt Sally. Do all multiplication divisions from left to right, then do all addition subtraction from left to right. Let's take a look at example number 3. And example number 3, in each week of the football season, the AP poll ranks football teams using votes from a group of sports reporters. A team gets 25 points for each first place vote, 24 points for each second place vote, 23 points for each third place vote, and so on and so forth, to 1 point to each 25th place vote. The team with the highest total is ranked number 1. Suppose that in 1 week, the Miami Hurricanes received 10 first place votes, 4 second place votes, 2 fourth place votes, and 1 10th place vote. And this is exactly how they rank college teams before they even start to play. It's from a press release. So if you follow college football and try to figure out what happened, so who was ranked first, why is a particular team ranked first, this is most probably the best way to explain it. Okay, let's try to answer the questions that follow. Write an expression for the number of points that the Hurricanes earned. Okay, and if you do this in letter A, this is what's going to come out. The points for 10 first place votes. Okay, 25 points, and there are 10 of them. Okay, 4 points for second place votes, for 24 points, and 4 fourth place votes, and then 2 points for fourth place votes, 2 times 22. Okay, and then lastly, there is a 1 point for 10th place votes. So to find the total number of points that the Hurricanes got, we follow the order of operations. We do the grouping symbols first, okay, which becomes now 10 times 25 plus 4 times 24 plus 2 times 22 plus 1 times 16. Okay, 10 times 25 is 250, 4 times 24 is 96, 2 times 22 is 44, 1 times 16 is 16. We do the operations in parentheses, and we simply go from left to right. 240 plus 96 plus 44 plus 16 will give us 406. So the Hurricanes earned 406 points. Okay, and if they have the most points before, if they have the most points, okay, then they become ranked number 1 before the season even started. Okay. There are many ways to use to indicate multiplication and division in algebra. We talked about this too in the past, but let's review. A raised dot or parentheses can be used to indicate multiplication. 5.6 means 5 times 6. 7 parentheses 3 means 7 times 3. Or parentheses 7 times 3 is the same. Or parentheses 7 times parentheses 3 simply means 7 times 3. Okay? And one thing you also need to note is that a fraction bar, okay, will always indicate division. So a fraction bar is also a grouping symbol. So a fraction bar is another grouping symbol. Okay. In our order of operations, and please please, my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, a fraction bar is part of our, take that out. A fraction bar is our parentheses. So when you talk about a fraction bar, it is also it is also meant, or it also means parentheses. So in this case, 38 plus 7 divided by 30 minus 5 is the same as the parentheses 37 plus 38 divided by 30 minus 5. Okay, so we do all grouping symbols first before any other operation. Let's take a look at example number 4 and see how this works. Okay, so you have fifth 5 times the quantity 7 plus 4, close quantity minus 8 times 4. So first, do everything in the grouping symbol. 7 plus 4 is 11. So that now becomes 5 times 11 minus 8 times 4. Since 5 times 11 comes first, we multiply 55. Okay, and we can also, we skip a step by multiplying 8 times 4 because they're both multiplication. 55 minus 32. End up with 23. So the expression, the value of the expression is 23. So let's take a look at example number 4b. 5 times bracket quantity 5 plus 14 close quantity minus 2 times quantity 7 close bracket. Okay, again, using the order of operations, we need to do the innermost grouping symbols first. So in this case, 5 times 19 minus 2 times 7 because 5 plus 14 is 19. And then our next step would be multiply 2 times 7. So you now have 5 times 19 minus 14 because 2 times 7 is 14. We end up with 5 times 5, which will become 25. So the value of the expression is 25. Look at letter C. Remember, a fraction bar indicates a grouping symbol or parentheses. We treat this as a parentheses. So 72 plus 12 is the same as 72 plus 12 divided by 35 plus 12 in parentheses. So you end up with 84 divided by 42, or the value of 2. Okay, so using that, we find the value of the expression. Lessons done. Google Forms, type a summary of what you've learned and a question you might want to ask in class. Thank you.